How's it going?
Guys, we missed you so much.
It's been so long. It's been so long.
A whole week since last week's episode.
Yeah, it's absurd. It's absurd how time flies and goes and moves.
Let us know if you'd be interested in a daily THAT TRACKZ. We'll quit our jobs. We'll fully commit to being a production company.
Yeah, please, anyone tell us
4 people tell us to quit our jobs and do this full time. We will.
4? I was hoping 2. Yeah.
3.
Okay, 3. We'll be in the middle. But folks, welcome back to THAT TRACKZ.
With Eythen and
Carolyn. Bam. Look at that. It's so good to be back.
Guys, we're really hitting our groove. This is episode 7.
Episode 7, yeah. 7 is a lucky number. A lucky number for me.
Why is it lucky?
I don't know. I think it's always felt right. Like how things just feel like, oh, feels like the luckiest thing for me.
To me, it feels like the weird kid. It's an odd number. I feel like it's been used to like outcast people or like other them. I feel like 7 is othered. Maybe it's because I'm othering it.
You didn't have to say that out loud. You could have just said, "Oh, cool."
Well, like I've tried to think about, like if I would want like a life event to happen in the year 2027. Like, if I wanted to get married in the year 2027, couldn't do it. There's a 7 in the number. Are you kidding? I don't want to curse myself like that. I don't want to have the weird kid number. I want to when I become a woman, when I become betrothed.
Okay.
And my father walks me down the aisle. I don't want it to be in the cursed year of our Lord 2027. I want to finally reach the peace and understanding that an even number brings. I feel like I've been an odd number my whole life, and for once I want to finally be accepted into the even number land. That's why I don't like 7, because I feel like I'm a 7, but I really want to be an 8 or a 6. Because those are like the normal numbers.
We just started. The episode. Okay, and we're already trying to break this down. Okay, see, I don't know. Like, I think I used to really love even numbers, like as well. But I think as I've like grown older, I've grown to appreciate odd numbers and like found more love to them.
I think you're better at being yourself, and I fall victim to the pressures to conform more easily.
Damn. Why do you say that?
Being a girl. Boy Instagram is like, I don't know, annoying orange, or what's boy Instagram?
I think a lot of like sports edits. A lot of sports edits right now. Yeah. Invincible, the TV show. Invincible.
Girl Instagram is like, why aren't you on Ozempic? Here's a girl in a bathing suit. By the way, 7 is weird just like you freak.
Oh, gotcha.
Society.
Boy Instagram is also dogs, too. I don't know. Dogs with sunglasses. I feel like girl Instagram is dogs with sunglasses.
I never see any animals on my feed.
Oh, okay.
I really just see girls wearing less clothing than me telling me that I should look like them. No? Just me?
Yeah.
Girls,
Yeah.
Where were we? We were talking about number 7.
Yeah, number 7. Yeah. Great start.
Wait. Do you think 7 is the weird kid number?
Do I think 7 is a weird kid number?
Yeah.
No.
What do you think 7 is?
I think 7 is like... 7 is one of those prime numbers that feels...
Oh, it is prime.
It is a prime number. And it feels right, Like 7 and 13 feel like such contrast. Cause
those are the 2 scariest numbers.
The 13 is kind of a scary number. Like, it's my dad's lucky number. But like, it's often assumed to be like an unlucky number. And I just feel like 7 and 13 have such opposite vibes. Like... They
have similar vibes to me.
It's like a horseshoe kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like opposite ends, but still same like energy. Carolyn, anything going on with you this past week? Any updates?
Eythen, I've been doing a lot of work on my laptop. I'm a busy woman, as Sabrina Carpenter says.
As she said this?
She says in her deluxe extended edition album. Actually, that happened today. I tried to get in the Ticketmaster queue to get Sabrina Carpenter tickets. She's coming back to New York, Madison Square Garden.
Love.
And... if every woman is a Billie Eilish, a Sabrina Carpenter, or a Chapel Rowan, I'm, of course, a Sabrina Carpenter.
Is that the...
There was this picture of them at the Grammys.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And it was like, every girl is one of these 3. And,
Which one am I? I feel like we... Actually, I don't know.
You could be Chapel or you could be Billie.
See, that was my dilemma. Like,
I think it depends on the kind of day you're having.
Today, I think it's a Chapel.
Oh.
Yeah, I think today's a
Chapel.
Yeah.
Like feisty Polly Pocket. That's kind of my thing.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
So I was trying to get tickets for Sabrina Carpenter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at work. I have both babies on me, and I am coordinating with Katie. And I get like I wait in the, I do the Ticketmaster dance.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm in the waiting room, and then I get in, and I'm number 800 in the queue, which is awesome. She's number like 25,000 in the queue.
Oh,
and I was like, I crushed it.
Yeah.
I wait, I'm like counting down. I get in there, and there's no tickets available.
Oh.
And for like 10 minutes, I'm sitting there in the shopping cart, no tickets available.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get them.
Damn.
So instead, I'm gonna have to buy them on Vivid Seats for like 8 times the price. And that's my gripe of the day.
Damn.
But that's not at all what I wanted to talk about, actually.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Ticketmaster. If you're listening,
We fuck Ticketmaster.
Yeah, fuck Ticketmaster. But if we do live shows, then
You can buy our tickets on Ticketmaster.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as you were saying.
So I've been doing a lot of work on my laptop. I'm a busy woman.
Right, I forgot that was a setup. Yeah.
Busy woman. Anyway. And classic dilemma of the modern age: you run out of storage on your laptop, and so you need to do some deleting, right?
Right.
So I was going through my iMovie looking for some old events I could delete.
Yeah.
And I stumbled across a couple short film projects that I created in my undergraduate courses of study. And
okay.
I don't know if you've actually heard of this piece of work of mine.
I don't know if I have either.
So it was like an adaptation assignment. It was during remote learning, so I had to make a short film with someone who was in Ohio. I was in Atlanta.
Right.
And it had to be like a spoof of something.
Okay.
And we were like thinking through ideas. And we were like, maybe we could do something with the Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
And thus, the Harry Potter and the Order of the Penis was born. Now, when you hear that title, you don't know what's going to happen, do you?
No, I have
The Harry Potter and the Order of the Penis.
And the Order of the Penis.
Well, of course, it's about a bachelorette party phenomenon. This Lebanese potter who's very hairy, he's not finding a lot of success in his ceramics line, and he has the bright idea that if he made a more phallic-shaped piece of pottery, he could market it to girls' night bachelorette parties for Pinot and penis painting, as in either Pinot Grigio or Pinot Noir, and penis painting as like a girls' night activity. And so I texted my advisor when we had the idea. I was like, nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to text January and be like, hey girl, little question for you. Can the title of my piece have the word penis in it? And if so, how much like bleeping do I have to do? Would this be a good opportunity to learn how to use the blur function on iMovie?
Right.
And she's like, I thought this was being spammed. But yeah, go for it, queen. And thankfully, I have it backed up on Drive. And I clicked delete.
You click delete?
Of like from the iMovie event. I have the file.
Okay.
But like editing it in iMovie. I'm doing a lot of work in iMovie for the pod. Sorry, Jimmy is doing a lot of work.
Yeah, don't talk down to Jimmy like that. Yeah. Okay, so there's a couple things that I do want to sort of get into with that.
Yeah, hit me with it. A creative dialogue, if you will.
Yeah, is this a parody? Is that technically a parody? Or
of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix? The Harry Potter and the Order of the Penis.
No, I hear the title, but like it sounds like it's just a different plot completely. Just
yeah,
just a spoof off the name.
100%, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and he had a star though.
Okay, never mind. Okay, never mind. It's a parody, guy. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And we made it, I filmed my Atlanta scenes. He filmed his Ohio scenes. His mom played his assistant.
Mm-hmm.
We smacked them together in iMovie and got an A.
Hell yeah. And if you subscribe to our Patreon,
we'll release it.
We'll release it, yeah. Director's cut. And then we'll do audio commentary too, like, so to see here, this is the reason why we made the vase look like this kind of penis is because we're doing a lot of research at the time.
My poor roommate at the time, I was like, hey, girl, it's online school. You gotta be a girl in the bachelorette party. And she was like, marketing person. She's like, I really don't want to be in your bad assignment student film. And I said, sorry, it's the pandemic. You have to. And so we got all dressed up and we were like, Pinot and penis painting. And we were holding like a Lysol can. And I learned how to like do the overlay and blur it to make it look like it had been.
Oh, that's smart. That's really good. I like that. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Ethan, how's stand-up been going?
It's been good. It's been really good, actually. I've been doing a few mics here and there. I have a show coming up, which is really cool. It'll be on May 1st. Yeah, which is really exciting. It's with the folks at Death to All of Them.
Shout out.
Shout out. They do a weekly mic on Wednesdays, and they've been doing a series of shows based around the 7 deadly sins. I think this will be the last of the sins.
Lust.
No.
Greed.
No.
Adultery.
That's not a sin.
Ego.
That's not a sin. Well, I guess pride, yeah.
Theft.
That's not a sin either.
Murder.
That's not a sin either.
Those are all sinful.
Well,
premarital sex.
Nope, that falls under lust.
Lust, greed, theft.
That's not a sin. Okay, the 7 deadly sins. It's lust, greed, gluttony, sloth, pride, envy, wrath.
Huh.
And I'm on the gay sloth show.
Gay sloth?
Gay sloth, yeah, because they do gay greed, gay lust.
Love. And sloth meaning like laziness?
Yeah, more laziness, yeah.
It's a sin to be lazy?
I mean...
Is a deadly sin to be lazy?
That one is definitely the weaker of the sins.
Meaning like punishable by death? What does the deadly mean in the term deadly sin?
It's if you let the sins control you, then it could lead to a sinful life.
And we don't want that?
I mean, I'm working toward not being sinful.
Oh,
I'd like to
just and pious.
I'd like to say so. I'm sure, like I have my moments.
Wow, you're really working toward just and pious living. I love that for you.
Thank you. Which sin would you say is your go-to sin?
Lust, gluttony, jealousy, envy.
Lust,
gluttony, envy, sloth,
greed, wrath, pride. Pride's a good one. Right. Yeah.
Pride's definitely my biggest sin, I think.
Yeah.
I think I sin the most against myself, you know?
Yeah.
Ooh, no one's ever said it like that. I am the victim of my sin.
Yeah. That's a good one.
I think I'm too, like, the sense of pride I have for, like, the version in my head of myself I never live up to.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think pride gets in the way of, like, my highest self.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Deep here on that track.
TRACKZ.
A little religious ideology on that track.
Yeah, for sure. And like for me, I don't know. I feel like maybe wrath sometimes. I feel like I can. I'm very self-conscious of my short temper. I feel like overall it's like improved, but I do feel like I get frustrated very easily. Yeah, so like it's not my favorite sin, but I feel like when I think of a sin that's connected to me, I think about wrath sometimes. I think about that. Yeah.
Is there like a selfish sin?
A selfish sin? Is there a selfish?
See, there should be an ego one. I feel like that's.
I mean, pride. I feel like there can be some selfishness.
Maybe it's like pride, greed overlap. It's selfish.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I think there's some greed in me too.
And I mean, gluttony falls under selfishness too. It's like this need to like take more for yourself versus others. Yeah. All deep stuff here on that tracks.
Tracks. Guys, so happy to be here.
And you know, funny enough, I feel like this is like first off, again, I'll shout out my show, May 1st. It's gonna be at Hellphone. Don't worry.
Love Hellphone.
We'll be posting about that. Love Hellphone. But I think actually talking about the sins is a great segue into my topic, actually.
I can't wait.
Yeah. Because I'm talking about a video game.
Pew, 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 pew.
Boy talks about video game never happened before. First one to do it.
And girl listens. First to do that, too.
Darn right.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about a video game. I'm talking about the game Doom. Now, Carolyn, I think I know the answer to this question.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of the game Doom?
No, my first two thought associations are Dune, the movie,
right,
and MF Doom, the rapper.
Okay. You know what?
Neither one are relevant here.
But I love both. Both are great choices. Well, Dune, I haven't seen Dune. I don't care. But MF Doom.
He's the food rapper, right?
Well, yeah, he's the food rapper. Anyway.
Doom, the video game.
Doom, the video game. So Doom is a first-person shooter. The original was released in 1993. And it's considered to be one of the most important first-person shooters. Not the first, but when you think of like FPSs, first person shooters, Doom is one of the big ones that comes to mind. You play a character named Doom Guy.
Doom Guy?
Doom Guy, yeah.
Love it.
Doom Guy. And he just fights demons. That's sort of the big thing there.
Cool.
Yeah, no, it's sick. I mean, the first three are sort of like an original trilogy. That's Doom, Doom 2, and then Doom 3, as you may expect. And then Doom 3 was not... Folks did not like Doom 3. It kind of went into the three-dimensional world. Folks weren't really into that. And then there was sort of a pause. This was like, I think, early 2000s. And then in 2016, they like revamped Doom. Doom 2016, Doom Eternal, and then Doom Dark Ages that comes out this year.
Send us an advanced copy, why don't you?
Yeah, Bethesda, if you're watching, shout them out. And the revamped Doom is way more fast-paced. The classic Doom, Doom 1, Doom 2, they're more 2D, very pixelated. The Doom Eternal, Doom Dark Ages is fast-paced. They really like prioritize like, oh, you're moving fast, you're shooting demons, you're running.
Okay, for a frame of reference.
Yeah, hit me with it.
The old ones look more like Pac-Man, and the new ones look more like Halo. That's 2D and 3D, right?
I mean, yeah. Sorry, I'm just thinking. Like, I mean, you're right. Technically, you're right that frame of reference, like, the new Doom trilogy is closer to Halo, and the older Doom is closer to Pac-Man. But
I thought I didn't know anything about video games.
But I mean, I don't even know. It's like saying orange and tofu are the same because they're both food. You know,
right? Okay.
Yeah.
I was just trying to figure out the 2D, 3D.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know much about video games. I haven't played many.
No, you're great. I'm getting.
I didn't even think that was that out of pocket.
It was a little out of pocket.
That's the viewpoint I'm coming in with.
Okay, no, that's fair. And I'm glad you're coming in with this viewpoint. I think that's great. So yeah, so Doom is like, it's a fun game. And maybe we could play Doom.
Yeah, sure.
Probably not.
Live stream.
That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen, guys. Don't worry. So yeah, the Doom is cool, but what I'm more interested in is the Doom community.
Okay.
Because, so for context, Doom came out in 1993.
Okay.
And one of the programmers, John Carmack, he released the source code for the game in like 97, like 4 years after it. So the game is still like very popular. Folks are still playing it. And he released the source code for folks to like mod it, have fun with it, play around with it, basically.
Define source code.
Source code is what makes the game like work.
Like computer coding code?
Exactly, yeah. The programs that allow you to set up the game. And what was great about this code, and the reason why there is such a big like Doom mod community and a big Doom community, is because it was easy to follow, and it was free, which was just really helpful for folks who wanted to expand their playing. There, you have a question.
Yeah. So I buy a video game.
Yes.
The original, like, what kind of device do I need to play it in the beginning?
So
before these mods come out, like, video games are on like a, what is it called? A platform, a device, control.
Yeah. I mean, Doom, I forget what the original Doom you could play on. I think you could probably play on PC.
And then how do you add code in?
So that's a whole other field that I'm not going to pretend that I know. But programs are...
You like open a back panel and find a secret keyboard and type in there? Like, what?
It's more so you're connecting that to your PC or your computer, and then you're adding that code back into it. You're playing. You can see the files, and you can add in different files for that.
Like HTML? I know nothing about video games, coding,
right.
Modification, digital gaming.
Right. So, like, I'll admit, my programming knowledge is not the strongest.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what's the original question?
I'm, like, wondering what physical tools I need. If I'm playing the game on a Game Boy, where am I typing in Bebop code?
Well, now...
To modify it.
Well, that's something that you would do on your laptop. You would connect. So let's say hypothetically you're playing this on your Game Boy.
Yeah.
If you wanted to add a mod to it, and you would connect the Game Boy to your laptop, add in this new code that you would perform on the laptop, and then would transfer to the Game Boy. Yeah, it's all really all connects back to the laptop to review the code.
Did they have laptops in 1993?
Laptops? I think if not laptops, then like a computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for the IT explanation.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
The
okay.
listeners, thank you as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay. And yeah, so the source code is free. It's easy to follow and easy to modify. And with that, there's sort of this sub community in Doom and a subreddit that I'll shout out called "Will It Run Doom," where folks port the source code into various systems so it can play the game Doom.
Got it. So any computer that exists with binary beeps and bops, you could modify?
Well, see, that's what's crazy about that. It's not just computers.
Tell me more.
I have a list of various items that have had Doom sort of imported onto it. Now, with that in mind, that does not always mean that you can like play through the whole game. Sometimes it's like a first level. Sometimes it's just more of a display. Either way, you're able to port Doom onto this device.
Right, and it's a shooting game. So what's controlling my gun?
Now, that's a great question because sometimes it's easier. Like for example, someone ported it onto a camera. So they were able to configure some of the buttons on the camera so that you could like shoot with one button, then like move around with another. That was really cool. So I mean, in some cases it's easy like that, but other times there's like
You're blowing my mind.
Like for example, a pregnancy test was able to like display Doom. Now play wise, see that one is harder because there's no real buttons to work with. So that one's more.
How do you plug a pregnancy test into a computer?
Beats me.
Wow. Okay, keep going.
Okay, so yeah, that was a treadmill.
On like the little miles per hour screen?
Exactly. Basically, if it has a screen, there's a good likelihood you can play Doom on it. A treadmill, a ticket validator, an iPod, a graphing calculator. Graphing calculator is sort of one of the more popular ones. There was a YouTuber, I forget the guy's name, but he used a graphing calculator and powered it with like 100 potatoes, and then played Doom off it. Now,
what?
Yeah. Now,
you have to explain that more.
Now, see, like using the potatoes as a source of power, like a potato clock.
Right.
And using 100 of those to power a graphing calculator so it can play Doom. Now, see, with the calculator, it's easier because, again, you have all the buttons, so you're able to like configure controls to that.
Well, and back in my day, I did play games on my calculator, like the jumping climbing game.
See, there we go.
Okay.
And you can think of that as being ported onto the calculator.
And then it's on a pregnancy test.
It was on a pregnancy test, right?
Okay, I'm getting there.
Okay. A car. That one seems like, now that we've read these cars.
What, you honk the horn and you kill somebody?
I mean, there was one. Wait, actually, I forgot about that. Yeah, I watched the video, and you could like speed up and move with the car, and then honk with the shooting. Yeah. A Kindle. Yeah, a Kindle makes sense. This one is crazy. A PDF. That one's. I've rewatched that a few times, and I don't think I understand how that one works. But yeah, you're able to like use the PDF and move around in it.
Isn't the whole point of a PDF you can't change anything about it?
Yeah, it's fascinating. I love Doom modders.
Wow.
Let's see. And then there are video games that are so advanced now that you can play Doom in the video game. Like
okay.
Like there's been Minecraft. There's a game Outer Wilds that had that available too. Pregnancy test, and then the last one that I'll mention here, a toothbrush.
Like an electric toothbrush.
Electric toothbrush with a screen on it. Yeah.
I haven't tried to piece together a puzzle like this in a long time.
It's crazy. Yeah, like I was just going through r/will it run, or r/it runs Doom, and yeah, there's just so many. There's a lot of different devices too. That, like all sort of fall in the same category that I didn't really feel to mention. But really, if it has a screen, you could logically play Doom off it.
Like a thermostat.
Oh yeah, I saw a thermostat on there. Yeah. List devices. List devices.
A thermometer.
Oh.
Like an ear thermometer.
Like
it has little pixels.
Little pixels. That one could be harder, but also it could just not. It could be a kind of a blurry image. I don't see why not. Yeah.
Thermostat.
Thermostat. Yeah.
Digital clock.
Oh, 100% digital clock. Yeah. Or that one could be harder because again with the digital clock, it's not all pixels. Like there's sorts already colored out images with that, so that one could be more difficult. It's again when I was first pitching this idea, I wanted to make a game where it was like, okay, here's all these items. Some of these reported onto Doom, some weren't. And I was like, well, fuck, no, all of these are. I don't know.
There's not one we can come up with that's not.
Exactly.
My main takeaway is I don't understand how anything electronic works.
That's where I realized. I was like, I think when I saw the pregnancy test, I was like, how does that even make sense? Yeah, it's baffling. Oh, I didn't mention this one. So there's a researcher who tried or did an experiment to run Doom using E. coli bacteria. Let's think about that one. Let's let that. Let's
try. Let's try to think about this.
Yeah, I read about
bacteria. Well, there's no screen.
See, that's the thing. So the researcher, she used the bacteria to develop like frames, basically. Where like, okay, a certain light, it'll be a certain brightness or darkness, basically. And using those brightness and darkness E. coli bacteria, able to develop frames, develop a singular image.
Well, now I'm wondering even what is an image at this point? Like, what's a pixel? Is there electricity involved?
I mean, I would think of a pixel just a minute part of a larger image.
So what? They include atoms and protons and neutrons to make that shit?
I mean...
Are there atoms in a pixel? Probably.
Well, yeah.
Everything is... Oh, all right, so now you're going to tell me everything is made up of atoms. Okay, then.
Okay, yeah. But, yeah. So the E. coli one was wild. But the thing with that is that it takes like 8 hours for one frame to develop, basically. So it'd take like years to go through like a game of Doom.
I should have taken science.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is like big level stuff. This is stuff that, again, I'm reading about and trying to like figure out. I will not be an expert in using E. coli bacteria to develop a frame in the game Doom.
I wish I could ask better questions, but I really am just...
I think you're asking great questions, honestly, because this is I mean, just saying that like, oh, you could play Doom on a pregnancy test is a crazy thing to say, and I think and then using the E. coli bacteria to like theoretically play Doom.
I think also I have no visual frame of reference for what Doom looks like. Like, is it as simple as like, what's the one called, where it's the little H's moving around that you shoot? Galactica.
Gattaca. Or is it Galactica?
No, that's Battlestar Galactica.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Is it like that kind of... That's why I brought up Pac-Man. Because I'm like, how simple of this... I feel like you could play Pac-Man on a lot of these devices we've mentioned. With the right mods.
Let's say that...
I feel like it's calculator Pac-Man.
Yeah, okay, let's say Pac-Man is sort of the baseline.
Right.
Let's say that Doom is like 2 steps above it. Where that, okay, it's still pixelated.
It's all black and white?
It's not black and white.
So they're getting color graphics on the pregnancy test?
The pregnancy test? That one, I think that one was black and white. But a lot of the other ones are usually in color.
On my calculator?
Okay, that one's black and white too. Okay.
Oh.
It was able to display color, then it's going to be in color.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you're shooting at stuff, but it's first person, meaning I'm seeing like the tip of my gun and the world around me.
The tip? You're definitely you're seeing the world around you. You're seeing the world around you. I don't think with Doom there was like a aiming feature or like a
so you just look and click?
Well, I believe so. I'm trying to remember. I think there is.
Ethan, I don't know how to express how much you've broken my brain because I'm down here thinking about how atoms work and how I don't know. And I don't know what an electrical current does. And then what about the AC, DC voltage? Lost me there. I bet those parts are involved to do any of this stuff. Then let alone bringing in computer coding. Okay, so that's what all zeros and ones binaries makes up the world. I'm supposed to buy into that. And now plug your pregnancy test into your computer. Like, where are the atoms? The same shit makes up the microphone and like what? I don't know any of this stuff. I just know about like tap dancing and harmony.
And that, that's something I don't know about. I don't know much about harmony or tap dancing. But this is all a great reaction because again, I'll say it again, it's absurd. The It Runs Doom community is absurd. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is crazy. And I love them for that.
And then I see it through my eyes, which are rods and cones. What? People just made up all this. I feel like Trisha Paytas saying, like, and what if they had never invented gravity? I'm like, what if no one invented atoms? Huh? What if no one invented binary bebop code? What if no one invented HTML?
You really like saying binary bebop code. I don't know where that's coming from, but
The beep-bop.
oh, I see. Okay, got it. Okay, that makes sense.
Binary is like, code language. You should know that, Eythen.
Yeah, no, I should. I'm sorry.
But like, beep-bop. That's how my sister explained to my friend who works in computer science. I was like, what do you do? And my sister was like, beep-bop, boop, beep, beep, bop, boop. That's comp sci.
That's comp sci. And that's Doom. And I feel like...
Wowie.
Yeah, I feel like...
You know what
Yeah. Well, are you going to play Doom?
If the fans want.
Yeah, if the fans
we'll
want...
get on Discord.
Discord. Yeah, we'll play the OG Doom. The OG Doom.
Yeah.
Maybe the new one, too. This new one looks really sick. Like, the Doom guy has, like, a shield and whatnot. It's like...
You'll have to find a lot of patience within you for teaching me a video game.
Don't worry, I have. Boom, bow. But yeah.
Guys.
That was a lot.
That felt like a physics test that I failed. And you know what'll help wash that down?
What's that?
I'd like a little cheese, Eythen. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, luckily, it's cheese time.
Cheese time, cheese time, cheese time, cheese.
Cheese time. Folks, this is the segment in the episode where I bring in a piece of cheese for Carolyn to try, and also for me to try. And this time, it's not from my cheese shop. I know.
Betrayal.
I know it's sacrilegious to go to a different cheese shop, but I'm trying something new. I went to Saxelby Cheesemongers. Now, Carolyn, do you know who Anne Saxelby is?
Yeah, only one of the pioneers of the American cheese arts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she very important in like highlighting American cheeses, and she has a cheese shop that is in Chelsea Market, and I picked up a cheese there. The cheese we have today is a Wild Field. This is made by the folks at High Lawn Farm in Massachusetts. It's a cow's milk cheese aged for about 8 to 12 months and washed in IPA.
Well, isn't that a coincidence, Eythen?
Why is that?
Do you know what I'm hiding under the table?
Oh my god. Is that an IPA?
An IPA. The Two-Hearted IPA, an American IPA, bottled and brewed by Bell's Brewery, Comstock, Michigan.
Shout them out. Boom, 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 boom.
Because sometimes we do drink pairings on the pod with our cheese.
Yeah, and trust me, we're going to be pairing more too, because I have another secret too. Now, we'll try the cheese on its own first. But something I love about High Lawn Farms is that they include haikus of good things to pair with the cheese. So I'm just going to read this haiku for you. And this is made by one of their like cheesemongers. Semolina fennel bread, Wild Field with pickled red peppers, and grilled dandelion greens. Now, a couple things. Could not find dandelion greens. Don't know what that is. I'm sure.
Guess you didn't look hard enough.
I did not look hard enough. Fennel bread, didn't get that. But I do have pickled red peppers. Pickled red peppers. There we go. I picked that up on the way over. So we'll try that with some of this cheese too.
Perfect.
A lot of stuff going on at this table.
I know.
First and foremost. Oh man, that is a really musty cheese. Oh my god.
Musty.
That is a musty cheese.
That's an appetizing descriptor.
Yeah, man. And I got a nice big chunk too. Look at that smell.
I wouldn't call that musty at all. I would call that delicious.
It's a little musty. But again, musty cheese is good. It's a good musty cheese. And also it does say pair with an IPA too.
Really?
Yeah.
Wasn't in the haiku.
It was not in the haiku. It was listed at the bottom. It was like, you can pair with an IPA.
This is for you.
Thank you. Now, you like IPAs?
No.
Okay, neither do I.
That's why it's in my fridge, because no one's drinking it.
Brilliant. So quick cheers to IPA.
Cheers.
Cleanse our palates. Oh, it's so bad. Oh my god. Well,
I was gonna say it's better than I expected. It's just very hoppy.
It's very hoppy. And you know me, I don't hop around. I don't beat around the bush. I don't hop around. Is that something? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Shut up. All right, let me get this cheese cut. Nice.
So I have a question. It says aged 8 to 12 months.
Yeah, 8 to 12 months, yeah.
How did they not know how long they aged this cheese? Was this one 8 or 9 or 10 or 11 or 12?
I mean, there's always wiggle room with it. Like I
No one's writing down when this batch started and when this batch ended?
I mean, I assume it has to do a lot with like how quickly do folks want it. Like if folks are like, "Oh, we need it now."
Oh, and if it got to the store at 8 months but no one buys it for another month.
Maybe, but also like I'm assuming If it's like when it hits the 12-month mark, then it has to go out. But like if folks are like, is it in high demand? Yeah, you get the wheel out at 8 months. 8 months is the baseline. 12 months is like, okay, we gotta get this guy out. You know,
I'm a little busy looking at the cheese. It looks divine.
It does look quite good. So let's get us a piece, and then we'll try some with the pickled red pepper. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm very excited. I have not tried this yet.
So it's a cow's milk.
It's a cow's milk, washed in IPA. I'm excited to get into it. It has a nice crumble to it.
Yeah, the texture is quite beautiful.
Yeah, the color, I'll say, is on the lighter side, which is interesting.
Cheers.
Cheers. Let's give this guy a try. God, man, that is delicious. Nice and hearty, some nice like crystals in there, some nice crystal chunks. It does have like a cherry vibe too. I think yeah. It could be more.
I mean, it tastes like cheese. I'm gonna be honest. This is kind of like the cheesiest. This one just kind of gives cheese.
And you know what? That's fair. It does have more of a cheddar vibe. I think it is closer to a cheddar than anything else.
I love the little, what do you call it? Crystals?
Yeah, the little crystal chunks. Yeah, from the aging process. Man,
it's divine.
It's great. But you're right. When you think of a cheese, I think this.
It doesn't really have a category other than cheese.
Right. Because I mean, I think there's definitely like the Mickey cheeses. Like this is just, again, we keep saying it, but like that's a cheese.
Let's eat more cheese.
Let's eat more cheese. Before we do that, let's go ahead and get some crackers here too. Okay, well, I was worried there was no. Crackers.
Noah sometimes gets in there when there's no one. I'm like, those are cheese time crackers.
Those are cheese time crackers.
He's like, they're my passing through to the bathroom snack.
Oh my god. Let's get some red pepper in there too.
The IPA is actually not that bad.
It isn't that bad. Ooh, okay, nice and pickled.
I love a red pepper. I'll eat it like an apple.
See, I'm not a big red pepper guy. I'm sort of here for the pairing.
You're trusting the haiku.
I'm trusting the haiku. I'll get you this piece.
Ooh la la.
I'll get you a little red pepper here. Okay, if I get fennel bread, I'm sure it'd be great, but...
I've actually never heard of fennel bread. I mean, I know what fennel is and I know what bread is, but...
Yeah, see, I didn't either. I was like, can I get this at the store? Good enough.
I love watching it break when you cut it.
It does have just an amazing crumble to it. Also, we did let it set for a bit, so I'm sure that adds to the crumble. Mm. Cheers.
Cheers.
That was smart. That was such a smart idea. And the juiciness of the pepper just really works with the cheese.
My only comment is, give me another.
I'll pass it to you.
Wow. I mean, this is thrilling to me because I love red peppers. So.
Right. Yeah. This is. I wish I had more notes for it. But yeah, it has a great crumble. It's nice and nutty. Yeah, I think
it doesn't have like very many like unique qualifiers. I feel like.
Right. It's
kind of just like, hey, that's good cheese.
Yeah, I think that can be okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what we're agreeing on. This cheese is it's boring to say, but yeah, it's good cheese. It's good cheese. Yeah.
And it's like pretty simple, I feel like, in its flavor profile.
Yeah, it's one that I think anyone can really get into.
Totally.
Christ almighty, that is a good... The more I have, the more I'm like, oh yeah, this is a good cheese. Delicious cheese. And you want the rest of it?
No. Well,
yeah, okay, for sure. Yeah. I'll leave it with you. But that is cheese time. Cheese time. Wow, that was fun. I love pianos.
Wow, what a delicious cheese.
What a good cheese, third place. That bronze medal.
There's a lot of podcasts in this world. How many of them have a intermission cheese time every single episode?
I don't think any.
With expert advice, intel, discussion from a real live cheesemonger.
And if there are any podcasts,
don't tell us.
No, tell us. Give me their address, and we're gonna fight them. We are, right?
All right, so my topic today. Guys, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
What a great cheese. We love you guys.
We do love you guys.
We do love you. Like, subscribe, share.
Share.
Tell a friend.
Tell your enemies, too.
Tell your enemies, yeah.
Yeah, tell my enemies, too.
Yeah, tell my enemies. I love a hate watch.
Yeah, I do, too.
Hate comment if you want.
Well, I wasn't really saying that.
Engagement, baby.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. Leave comments. Make fun of me, I guess.
That's my job.
Aww.
Guys, welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. Carolyn, you know, is food on the mind? I feel like, because I'm still hungry. I wish there was something else I could engage with that, what's about food, that to help that hunger.
Eythen, lucky for you. As cultural theorists. As media commentators.
Mm-hmm.
As artists engaged in a dialogue about media and the world around us.
100%.
A niche category of media that has always really spoken to me is culinary media.
Culinary media. Okay.
Culinary media.
Yeah.
I was a big daily watcher of the Food Network.
Great.
As a kid, I had a rather unique media diet.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch Disney Channel. I didn't watch Nickelodeon. I didn't watch Cartoon Network.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch Disney movies. They had too many big feelings for me.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of special media needs as a child, and I couldn't just sit down and watch regular schmegular programming.
Right.
I had a lot of anxiety, and a lot of things were very scary to me. And so my mom was often trying to find media that me and all my siblings across a wide age spread could watch without anyone having a panic attack. And she landed on classic movie musicals.
Great.
Like Mary Poppins, Sound of Music, a banger, the one and only genuine original family band about the re-election of Grover Cleveland.
Let's save that for an episode. We'll have to save that.
I thought about that for today.
Yeah, I've never heard of this before.
So I watched a lot of movie musicals, and so you can only watch Mary Poppins so many times.
Yeah.
And sometimes you want the joy of sitting on the couch and flipping on the television and having a program available for you. And, I would get home from school, 3 o'clock, and I'd want to just flip on the TV and do some channel surfing.
Yeah.
And what was always there for me? The Food Network.
The Food Network.
Specifically the programming from 3:30 to 5:30 on weekdays. I would just let it run. Sometimes I would take notes on paper of recipes I was going to make. And I just loved every show I saw. I really was I really enjoyed cooking with my mom. It was a sweet thing we would do together. She would bring me into the kitchen and I would help her prep vegetables, or I already had some baseline culinary proclivity.
Right.
And Food Network, when I was younger, started pumping out reality culinary media.
I see, like cooking competitions.
Cooking competitions are one vein, and I loved reality competitions. Still do. Survivor, all of them.
Yeah.
But this was more almost soapy, sitcom-y reality television. And so
interesting. Yeah.
This type of show launched. There was a lot of cake media going on.
Oh, yeah.
Cupcake Wars.
I know Cupcake Wars, yeah.
TLC's Cake Boss. You're missing out.
No, I know him.
Oh, you don't fuck with him?
I don't fuck with Cake Boss.
And this television show came across my desk. It launched in 2006. Okay. I think I was probably about 6 when I first discovered this. It's a TV show called Ace of Cakes.
Ace of Cakes. Okay.
Are you familiar?
I don't think I've ever heard of this before.
So it dropped in 2006. It ended in 2010.
Yeah.
They put out 2 seasons a year. So they got 10 seasons in these 5 years.
Wow.
And this TV show followed the real life employees of a bakery called Charm City Cakes.
Charm City Cakes.
In Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay.
And this whole company is helmed by this man, Duff Goldman. He's short and stout like a teapot.
Okay.
He's bald.
No, say the name again.
Duff Goldman.
Yeah, that's a bald man. That's if I've ever heard of one.
He's a short, stout, bald Caucasian man with a goatee.
Oh, no.
A lot of tattoos.
Okay.
And a big fan of the Baltimore Ravens.
I mean...
Naturally.
Obviously, yeah.
And a real passion for power tools.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
And this man owns and operates this cake shop. He's a talented pastry chef, and he opened up a bakery with all of his friends. He employed a bunch of his friends. They're all artists. These are true hipster artists, like bad tattoos,
gotcha.
Micro bangs before they were cool in 2006.
Oh no.
A deep side part with side swept bangs. A true cast of characters. God. And their specialty at this bakery is like life-size models sort of different items. So any bakery in the world could make you a 3-layer chocolate cake.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but we could.
Publix could. We could.
Yeah, we could. Yeah.
Anyone in the world can make you a funfetti cake or a red velvet cake.
Yeah.
Or okay, but who are you gonna call when it's your bat mitzvah and you want a figurine of yourself sitting on the edge of a banana split?
Is that
Duff Goldman?
Is that
real episode?
Oh wait, that sounds awful.
Who are you gonna call when you're opening up a new Dale Earnhardt roller coaster at Cedar Point and you want a cake model of the roller coaster for the opening party? Duff Goldman.
Duff Goldman.
Who are you gonna call when you're the Super Bowl and you need a Super Bowl themed cake because they're season 8 and they're really getting famous?
They
Duff
need
Goldman.
a cake for the Super Bowl.
I'm actually gonna consult my notes for this because the highlights on the Wikipedia page are actually crazy.
Yeah, and I have some questions too.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
So some top clients that they featured on the show were, they did the NFL cake for Super Bowl XLI. Don't know what Roman numerals are.
Yeah.
They made a full-scale DeLorean time machine cake for the Back to the Future anniversary event.
Now, when you say full scale,
Like the size of a car. They specialize in large cakes that don't look like cakes. They started the Is It Cake phenomenon.
see, that was my question. I was gonna be like, do they have like, is this cake like credits? Like, how involved were they with that?
You know, Duff, after the show got canceled, did have a lot of TV appearances, producer credits, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was overlap.
And also, can I ask another question?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Are these really cakes, or are these Rice Krispie treats and fondant?
So I know you're not a big fondant guy.
But are they really cakes?
There is really cake in there. It's not 100% cake. It's usually 90% edible. Like for the roller coaster, they put an actual model battery-operated roller coaster that went through the cake.
And the batteries aren't cake?
No.
What kind of bullshit is this? If I want a cake, I want it all to be cake, all right? I don't want any of this, like, oh, there's batteries in here, like, oh, it's fondant and Rice Krispie. Get the fuck out of here, actually.
Often for structural integrity, too, they have to insert, like, a wooden dowel.
Structural integrity. If it's not structural, don't make the cake. That's what I'm saying. If I eat a piece of cake and there's a goddamn toothpick in there, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. It's bullshit.
Yeah, some of their highlights were a horse race in Maryland.
I swear to God, Carolyn, I'm getting really heated about this. If they made a horse for this race, I'm gonna lose my mind.
It was not a horse. They made like the key architectural building up on site. They did Radio City Music Hall. They built the Radio City Music Hall out of cake.
That's a big cake.
Life size now.
Yeah.
They did a Harry Potter premiere. They did a Kung Fu Panda, Hubble telescope.
Hubble telescope?
Out of cake. And they really had a specialty for using like creative outside the box thinking, like a blowtorch or a like power saw or a
out of the box
belt sander.
Out of the box thinking, aka not a full cake. You're just building. You're sculpting. Go into sculpting. Go into. Oh my god!
I think a lot of them were like visual artists that they pulled into the bakery.
Yeah. Oh, of course. I'm so mad, actually. You just robbed this like hatred I have, or not hatred. Hatred's a really strong word. Hatred's really strong. My wrath is coming out. My wrath is coming out. It's not hatred. I just a strong distaste for the cake boss, and that a lot of it is just like Rice Krispies and whatnot. Like it's all display. It's not for eating. And if I want a cake, I want a cake.
I will say the main appeal of hiring this bakery. Is that you have a super flex cake of like, oh my god, that's edible at your party. I'm sure the parts that you can eat taste good. Sometimes, this is going to really make you mad. Sometimes they bring additional sheet cakes to like slice and serve.
Then what's the point? Then what is the point of hiring Duff Goldman to make this shit? If they're just buying other cakes. Like, what are we...
They made the other cakes.
Oh, okay, sure. Great, yeah.
They do bake cake.
Yeah, let me get this cake of the DeLorean. And also, here's 2 other sheet cakes in case it runs out. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Oh my god. If I ever saw Duff Goldman, I swear, I'd be really upset. I'd be like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here?
Their season 5 finale, they went to Hawaii for Lost's 100th episode.
Okay.
And they did some really experimental stuff with this episode. They cold opened on a puppet sequence. they had puppets of all of like the bakers, and they were like in Hawaii. They had like a dream sequence. It's like Duff in his confessional, and he's like, I've never been to Hawaii. And then a dream bubble appears, and it's like him as a puppet laying on the beach. The editing is funny.
I mean, that sounds funny. It does sound really funny.
And they have a classic conundrum every episode. So they get
okay, of course.
Someone books them. Someone's like calls them, "Hi, we want to make a cake." And first they tell them their prices, and some people are like, "Hang up." And Duff's like, "If you want a chocolate cake, go get one at the grocery store."
Yeah, if you want a chocolate cake, you want at the grocery store. If you want one of our Rice Krispie ass cakes that is full of sawdust, then yeah, call up Duff Goldman right here.
There usually is a large gum paste, fondant,
it's not cake.
Modeling clay, Rice Krispie. They do use Rice Krispie.
Motherfucker using modeling clay. I swear to God.
No, but it's edible. Modeling chocolate. That's what it's called.
That's not
modeling
cake. That's
chocolate.
not cake. Then that's just clay. That is just clay.
So every episode, someone calls them and is like, "We have an order." And first, they're like, "Do you want to pay our rates for architecture, for cake architecture?"
May I ask? Do we know these? Do we know these rates?
No.
Okay.
Usually, he's just like, "Oh, it's too expensive for you. Go to Kroger."
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
And so they get the order, and the order is like, let's take the roller coaster example.
Okay.
And they're like, "Oh, how are we gonna make a roller coaster cake?" And they all sit around at the table, and this is like, it's all shot on site. There's a reality component, which we know I like reality television.
Right.
And so it's shot on site at the bakery, and there's like 10 hipsters with microbangs and bad tattoos and side parts, and they all sit around this table, and they're like, "All right, how are we gonna make a roller coaster cake?" And, the main, like, figurine sculptor girl is like, "Well, I think we could use the modeling chocolate for XY, like the modeling chocolate
Get
girl.
her out of the room. Get her out of the room.
And then the girl who's, like, the airbrush girl. They really liked using, like, an airbrush with pigment and alcohol, and they, like, spray it on the cake.
Okay, yeah.
So airbrush girl is like, "I think I could really airbrush on the fondant, looking awesome." And then one person's like, "I think chocolate chip cake is the best base." So, they all have their, like, meeting.
Yeah.
And then they go into the making the cake. And they have some setbacks, usually. It's like, "Oh, the thing I thought was going to work didn't work. We're going to have to get out the power tool." And because remember episode 2 when the cake collapsed in the van? Can't let that happen. So let's build a plywood shelf for it or whatever. So there's like the construction element, the design element. They get through whatever trials it was to make the cake. And they get the cake together, looking perfect. And they like gather around and they marvel at their work. And they're like, "Wow, we did it." And then they start the transportation part of the episode because they have to transport the cake by van anywhere from like a 30-minute to an 8-hour drive.
Right. 8 hours.
They'll sometimes take it up to like Buffalo, New York from Baltimore, Jersey, or down to, West Virginia, wherever they have to take the cake.
Yeah.
And so they like have the footage of them carrying it to the van, like, "Don't spill it, don't drop it."
Right.
And you'd think that they would like develop a system to really protect these cakes, right? And maybe keep them like chilled. And no, every episode is just they set it down in the back of a truck, or like of a van. They like set it in there, they close the doors, and someone just sits in the back with like their hands at the ready, and they go off into the distance. There's like no strapping it in, there's no padding, there's no refrigeration. It's just like the cake on a plate. They set it in the back of the car. Someone, like, crawls back there and is like, "I got it." And then they drive. Of course, there are episodes where someone dropped a cake.
Yeah.
A cake collapsed. That's what you really watch for
when the
catastrophe.
So when the cake collapsed, is it like, "All right, we have a backup cake," or is it like, "Oh, refund"?
I think refund. I think it's like, "That's TV."
That's TV. Carolyn, I feel like I'm usually quite open to the media that you bring.
Yeah.
I'm just really heated thinking about this. I'm just really upset, actually.
Because if, like, say it was your surprise birthday party, and someone's like, "Eythen, we have a cake for you." And you're like, "Can't wait.
Yeah.
So hungry.
Yeah, oh my God.
Didn't have a sandwich for lunch. Can't wait to eat this cake."
I have not eaten anything. Oh my God.
And it's like...
And I see Duff Goldman.
Duff Goldman with, like, a playable piano. And you're like, "Great. Where's my goddamn cake?"
Yeah, where's my cake? You guys say, "Oh wow, we have a cake for you," and you just hear like ominous music in the background. Duff Goldman enters, and it's like, "Oh no, I get the evil cake, the fondant cake."
There's a lot of fondant, and so I had the opposite reaction to you when I discovered this show when I was 6 or 7.
Yeah,
I was like, I found my career path. This is it. I'm going to be a cake decorator. This is the dream. This was way before theater, acting, Broadway, all of it.
Really?
my first dream was Food Network star.
Okay, yeah.
And I got all of my own cake tools. I had my fondant, I had my modeling clay, and I was like 8 years old in the kitchen being like, nobody talked to me for 3.5 hours. I am making a cake piano. And of course, I would try to like make a 2-layer cake and cover it in fondant, and I would have like 2 breakdowns across the way because it's not that easy.
It is hard. It is hard.
If I just made a cake that tasted good, it would have been easy. But I was trying to do like the fondant and the like. They really like sculpting. They really like sculpting like people.
Wow, I would never believe that they would love to sculpt instead of bake a good fucking cake.
It's like, oh my god, a wedding. We need a completely realistic modeling chocolate figurine of the bride and groom to sit on top, and like. 8 minutes of the 23-minute episode are like this girl stressing about, I can't get the nose right on my figurine. But I say all of this.
You say all this.
I not only discovered a dream career, discovered a hobby,
right,
raced home from school to watch an episode. I took it a step further.
You took it a step. Okay.
And I wrote a fan letter to Duff Goldman.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
And I didn't remember this until I found it in my room years later. I never sent it.
Oh my god.
But it was fan mail in like, I was probably 7, like young Carolyn handwriting. And it's like, Dear Duff, hi, my name is Carolyn. I love your show. I want to grow up and be a cake baker one day. Would you by any chance send me an autographed picture? I think I was asking for like an autographed headshot.
Yeah.
I was like, thanks so much. I think I added some kind of like barter or offering. Like, if you give it to me, I'll be so good to my sister or something. And then I like put it in my Hurt Locker and found it years later. I was a real fan.
Oh my god.
I was a real. And I don't know what it was about him specifically, because there was other cake media.
Right, yeah.
I think I liked the like artist vibe in Baltimore, which is a weird vibe, but
the Baltimore art scene. Yeah.
Baltimore art scene. But they were all like, you know, homies, and they seemed to enjoy going to work, and that was like truly the performer thing started in me with culinary media.
And I can see that. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair bit.
Yeah, but there's 10 seasons on what's the Discovery streaming? Discovery Plus?
Probably Discovery Plus. Maybe Peacock. I think Peacock had Discovery on there too.
That's Days of Cakes, King.
So I have some more thoughts. So why did it end?
That's the question. I watched a great YouTube video about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's the argument of like they made everything they could make. They had 10 seasons and it was pretty procedural of like order comes in, we need to make it, we run into problems, the cake gets delivered, a treacherous journey to the destination, the customers love it.
Right.
They hit over 100 episodes. Yeah. And also like, you know, I think the cake media craze. This was also in like the cupcake craze. Like,
I see. Yeah.
Cupcakes became really big because no one had, you could only spend $2 and get a cupcake instead of a whole cake. Like there was a big, there was a recession era cupcake craze, I gotta say. No one could afford a cake anymore.
A recession era cupcake craze. That is
the name of my album.
That's a good album.
Recession era cupcake craze. Wait a second.
Yeah, wait, say it one more time.
Recession era cupcake craze.
Trademark, copywritten. I do recall that when I became an Eagle Scout.
Were you an Eagle Scout?
This is my first time mentioning that. Okay, all right. Well, when I became an Eagle Scout, my parents got me a cake. And I do recall that there was an eagle head on top of that, made out of Rice Krispie treat.
Wow! And that's where the trauma started.
Looking back, that was a really cool cake, and I very much appreciate it. And again, that was minor. It was like a additional piece. If I'm getting a cake and it's 80% Rice Krispie treat, 20% cake, I'm gonna beat someone up. I'm gonna find Duff Goldman. I keep wanting to say his name wrong. I'm gonna find Duff Goldman. I'm gonna fight this guy.
You don't even know what he looks like.
Trust me, I think I'll have a pretty good guess when I see him. My final question, actually, or one of my final questions. Let's say that you have infinite money. Yeah. And you have a birthday coming up. Right. And you want Duff Goldman to make you a special birthday cake.
I don't want to eat his cakes. There was never any part of me that thought they looked good. It was that I wanted to be a part of the culture. I wanted to be an employee there. Mm-hmm. Me at 7 years old was like, hire me.
Now, my question is, what would you make the cake, or what would you want them to make the cake of? Like, if you have a life-size cake of something. Cake, I use loosely here, because it's not cake. It's...
I probably want, like, a full bronze statue of myself. Marble.
Oh,
Cake marble statue.
Oh, that's a great switch. From marble to bronze. Yeah.
Cake marble statue.
Okay.
Marble cake in the inside. That's
Oh wait. Duh. Wait, you're so right.
A marble cake marble statue, life size, 2.5. So that's Steph Goldman.
That's Ace of Cakes.
That's Ace of Cakes.
I watched one episode. Get the vibe.
The like 2006 editing style is fun to see because
I'm sure.
reality TV was still new enough, and it
Mhm.
the soapy sitcom-y reality, like day in the life of a restaurant bakery.
Right.
That format was still young enough that they were really funny with the editing, like funny sounds and music and montages, and they were succeeding enough that they could really play around with it.
I see. Yeah.
So it's worth a watch.
Nice. Okay.
See what kind of cake they're making.
Yeah.
See if they can make it to the destination.
Oh yeah. See that.
Imagine when you hit a speed bump. And the cake is not strapped in at all. It's just a guy holding the plywood in the back.
Yeah, the one PA was like, "Oh God,
No.
please don't do that. Please don't hit the bump." You know what? I think we learned a lot today. I learned a lot about the cake craze of the 2000s.
Mm-hmm. I learned how much I don't know about anything that happens on a screen.
And that's what this podcast is about.
Exactly.
It's about learning.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
And cultural theory.
yeah, at the end of the day, we're just theorists, and we're trying to figure out this culture and this beautiful, crazy world.
Guys, if you haven't heard any of our old episodes, go back, listen to them.
Yeah.
Go like a reel. You know, you didn't like the cheese reel from episode 1? What are you doing? Go back and like it.
And we're on TikTok too.
We're on TikTok at That Tracks Pod.
At That Tracks Pod.
We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, and that's That Tracks with a Z. Don't forget. Very important. And you know what? I mean, I'm sure folks want to follow the podcast, but maybe they want to know what we're doing. Oh my God.
Maybe they do.
Yeah. Carolyn, how can folks find you?
They can find me at Carolyn Ausler on Instagram, CarolynOursler, and a new website that I launched, CarolynAusler.com.
Right, yeah, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Eythen, where can people find you?
Folks can find me on Instagram as well, at Eythen_Anthony. Eythen spelled EYTHEN _ANTHONY. Anthony, pretty normal, pretty classic. And then I don't have a website.
But he's getting booked more than I am, so.
Stop.
Guys, that's it for week 7. Follow along. Thanks for your support. Thanks for watching. Share it with your enemies, with your friends.
Share with everyone. You know, talk to folks on the train. Tell them about our podcast.
Your boss, your dog walker.
Your dog.
Your dog.
Yeah.
And until next time.
We'll see you.
Bye.
Have a good day.